There's a scam where hackers are taking over your cell phone and then draining all your bank accounts.
Started getting notifications. Someone tried to log into your account. Your password's been changed.
Turns out he had no signal.
Why is my phone not working? What happened? I don't know. Oh my God, they've already withdrawn $21,000 from your account. Are you kidding me? That's half of my bank account.
In this video, I'm going to break down this scam and how it works and the signs you need to look for so you yourself do not lose all your money to these hackers. Now, this channel is designed to help you no matter where you are in your credit journey. So if you like that kind of information, subscribe to the channel and go to my website. You can download this free hard inquiry removal package. The link is in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section.
Jeff Drobman knew something was wrong when Bank of America alerts popped up on his phone.
I started getting notifications. Someone tried to log into your account. Your password's been changed.
Jeff tried to call the bank.
Call cannot be placed. Call cannot be placed. Call can't go through.
Turns out he had no signal.
Why is my phone not working? What happened? I don't know.
When Jeff got to a phone to call B of A chunk of money from his account was gone.
They go, oh my God, they've already withdrawn $21,000 from your account. Are you kidding me? That's half of my bank account.
Here's what likely happened. It's called SIM swapping. A crook got a hold of Jeff's personal information, his name, address, and cell number, and convinced Jeff's cell phone company Spectrum to transfer his cell phone number to a new phone. The crook then had access to Jeff's text messages and used text message two-factor authentication to get into Jeff's bank account and steal his money.
Now, Jeff was a victim of what's called SIM swapping. This is where these hackers get access to your cell phone number and switch out your number at your carrier. And then from that phone carrier, switching out your number, now they have access to your SIM card and all your financial information with your bank accounts that are in your apps in your cell phone, and they can wreak havoc by draining your bank accounts.
So the text message went not to my phone, went to their phone. So by hijacking my phone, they intercept my text back.
Cybersecurity expert Stan Stahl is trying to bring those numbers down. He founded Secure the Village, a nonprofit dedicated to educating people about cybersecurity. He says what happened to Jeff can happen to you.
Now, one of their main goals to hijacking your phone, then they can also get these security two-factor systems going to their text messages on their cell phone through your number because they took over your SIM card. And now they can handle some of the bypass security that banks have actually set up to keep these scammers out from draining your accounts. And now they change your passwords and just have a field day of stealing your money out of your accounts.
Jeff was not specifically targeted because he was Jeff. He may have been specifically targeted because they ran across his information, but could happen to any of us.
Stahl largely blames Spectrum for its lack of security. He says they made it too easy for crooks to steal Jeff's cell phone number.
So Spectrum wants to make it as easy as possible for people to go buy a new phone. But in thinking about that, Spectrum and every other company like them has to also think of the risk side of the equation.
Now, many of these hackers are actually buying your information on the dark web. And with all these data breaches, there's no telling where your information is in the world right now and what hacker and what scams that can be being cooked up against you. Now, with my elite credit system, we use Smart Credit. And with Smart Credit, they have a fraud insurance up to $1 million, not only to protect you, but those in your household. And they also offer Money Manager. And with my elite credit system, users like Greg was able to remove a collection within 12 days. And you can use all of these tools to help secure you along with my AI software and my credit coaching. If you're interested, I'll leave the link in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section where you can set up. And these can also be extra security to stop you from these hackers.
Stahl says all wireless companies should require customers to have a PIN that they must use to make any account changes. A trade group for wireless providers agrees. Spectrum told the I-Team it recently started requiring PINs for number transfers, but it wouldn't comment on how crooks bypassed this to steal Jeff's number.
Our mobile carriers have to be called on the carpet for that. They've got to fix that. You can't just transfer phone numbers because somebody asked you to.
Now, many of these cell phone providers do offer a PIN or a password that you can set up to stop people from accessing your cell phone information over the line with customer service reps. Now, many people do this because they don't want friends or loved ones like their teenage kids to upgrade phones. But this PIN is also helpful to stop these thieves from SIM swapping on your phone accounts. So this is also an additional way that you can protect yourself And this is actually free to do.
On the banking side of this scam, Stahl says text codes for two-factor authentication aren't safe either. He says banks should instead use face recognition or an authentication app.
Now, another layer of protection you can add not only to your cell phone, but to your own individual bank accounts is facial recognition. Now, this way that these scammers cannot get access to your bank account because they do not have your face. So adding this as an additional layer of protection can prevent your bank accounts from being drained.
But the banking industry defends text-back codes. B of A pointed us to a banking trade group for comment. The American Bankers Association says the industry invests billions of dollars in cybersecurity, and text-back codes provide a significant defense against account takeover. Jeff doesn't buy it.
I want to get the word out that text-back codes are not safe.
Now, in the bank's defense, probably normally the two-factor authorization probably works majority of the time. This really is a problem with the cell phone companies, because how can the banks really plot out someone stealing somebody else's cell phone number and doing this swap? So this is primarily on the cell phone companies to set up a layer of protection. But what the banks normally have, probably the majority of the time, it's harder for these scammers to go in if it's not involving this SIM swapping. So normally on any other circumstances besides this SIM swapping, the security that the banks have set up primarily do work.
After the IT reached out to Bank of America about Jeff's case, it put $21,000, the amount stolen from him, back into his account. In a statement, it said it takes identity theft seriously. Jeff believes he's now as secure as he can be, but he's disappointed these two companies both failed to keep his money and his identity safe.
Now, here's some ways you can protect yourself. Setting up that PIN with your cell phone provider is also going to be a good way to add a layer of protection. Sometimes it's a PIN or it can be a password. Now, also keep in mind, you don't want to use PINs or passwords that you commonly use on other devices or even maybe other accounts, because sometimes those passwords get leaked and is sold on the dark web with your identity information. So you may want to use a totally different PIN or password that you normally use as a layer of protection. Additionally, you can also set up notifications and different PINs with your bank. So you want to make sure that you're getting as many alerts as possible so you know any suspicious activity going on with your bank accounts, and setting up that facial recognition with your bank accounts. And as I mentioned, with Smart Credit, they do have fraud insurance up to $1 million that can protect you and your family as a layer of protection. And along with all these steps, if you lose your cell phone, make sure you contact your cell phone provider and your bank to make sure that anybody that finds that cell phone, or if that cell phone was stolen, the bank knows about it, and any withdrawals or suspicious activity going on with your bank accounts, they can shut it down immediately because they already know about it. And with your cell phone provider, anybody that's trying to access or change over your phone number, they can be alerted to watch out for any hackers or any thief activity going on with your account. So these are some ways that you can protect yourself as much as possible. So hopefully this information was helpful. If you have questions, you can leave it in the comments section. But if you have more detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.